Okay, you ready for me to go, Patty?
Sure,
All
sure. Jump
right,
on in.
welcome to the Oregon Cascades quick training hour here on Wild Connect, but specifically core ministry impact and our core ministry counts. I'm Chad Watson, for those of you that don't know me, and most importantly, live here in Salem, Oregon, on the west side of the bridge. So born and raised, kind of been around, been on field stuff here in Oregon, but currently serve as the Wild Connect training director. So I'm here because to help with this, but also because I'm trying to learn and live out this new rhythm myself. Because every Tuesday morning at a Ross grocery store, I meet with somewhere in the neighborhood of 22 to 30 junior high boys for our campaigner group. And so I want to tell you one quick story about that, how this is kind of pushing me and helping me rediscover what it means to be a really good young life leader. I think first and foremost, right, we've always been about relationships and kid centric and names and those things. So when we think of the kids know my name and think about caring about what kids show up at club and campaigners, those I believe are deeply rooted rivers that have been running. But it's interesting how there's been the opportunity, I think, to fade away from that. So a few months ago, I left, dropped some kids off at the middle school, and I was driving up the hill, and I saw one of our kids that's usually there, Quinn, walking down the hill towards school. And it dawned on me that I hadn't realized that he wasn't at campaigners that morning. And so I stopped, I rolled down the window, and I said, "Hey, Quinn, where were you this morning?" He's like, "Chad, I'm sorry. I apologize for missing." I was like, "Hold on. You don't need to apologize." Right? I go, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that I noticed and we missed you. And is there anything we can do to help you come back next week? Do you need a ride?" He's like, "No, no, 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 no. I slept in or something. No, my parents will take me. I'll be there next week." And so that little interaction has been driving me as we try to figure out how to do core ministry impact and understand the counting and why would we want to do this. So I know you guys probably are creating your own little stories and your own little pictures of why this is important to you and how you're going to use it in your area. So keep doing that, because I think like the technology is something we can all learn, but our heart and our belief about this is what will motivate us to engage it and do it. So I'm going to start sharing the screen. I'm going to start with the input, like the collection side of this, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page and has a resource. And maybe you guys all do. And I don't know who's going to watch this recording, but I'll at least start here. So if you come to the staff resources site and you type in core ministry impact, you'll find this page. And this has all sorts of resources on here. I'm just going to point out one that I think can be really helpful is you could go to the area toolkit. And you scroll down. Here is a whole family of Google Sheet templates to collect from your volunteer, teams, your volunteer leaders, right, to use so that you can aggregate all of the kids know by name, all of the club counts weekly, and all the campaigner counts weekly. How many people are most people familiar with this being here, or do you already have your own systems? Where are we at on this in the crowd? New stuff for some people? Good.
This is Kate. We've been using the Google sheet for collecting like the CMI numbers, but it's my first time seeing the kids known by name list. I think that could be really helpful.
Yeah.
Brand new to me.
Good. Well, one trick, just to like whenever you go get this, go save and make your own copy so you're not sharing your kids known by name list with the rest of Young Life or your campaigner list or whatever. So you guys are obviously free to take a look at those and you can tweak and use whatever you want. But we know that that's the biggest obstacle right now, that volunteers do not have access to WOW Connect. So we're building a bridge to get those numbers and intake in. So, okay, I'm going to leave that there, and then we'll come over to our kind of our WOW Connect core, which is Salesforce, and start out here. First thing I want to point out, hopefully everybody has the Walk Me extension downloaded, that you have this WOW Connect Help button up here, because this is your ticket to all of our self-guided core ministry counts resources. So there's a whole section here, and it's got more than you could ever want. I'll just make and we're going to be simplifying this down a little bit pretty soon, but we threw a lot of spaghetti on the wall to start out with this over the last 6 months. Anytime you see this little symbol, you're looking at what is like a one pager, right? It's PDF. Click it, open it up, really helps you get going. Okay. Anytime you see the video symbol, then you're going to get anywhere. Most of those videos are like in the 2 to 3 minutes range. The tour one's probably a little bit longer. And kind of, I think, one of our best features, so just so you know, inside of Salesforce and WOW Connect right now, are these called smart walkthroughs. And so like a lot of people have been, hey, can I edit? How do I edit? Well, do you want to remember for the rest of your life how to edit a CMC entry? Or if you remember that this is here, which you could also search for it up here, you come and you run this. And can you see what just happened on my screen? Does that show right now? They're directed up to the favorites list. Okay, it's going to take you step by step on how to edit your input. So you just follow the promptings on the screen, and we feel like you're going to see more and more of this, so that you can A, learn, but B, accomplish a task all at the same time. All right, so that's the little help menu world, just to make sure that you're kind of hip to that. I'm going to show you a couple different. I don't know how many people have been entering core ministry counts on the home page, which this is where I'm at right now. So your home page should look very similar. And you got our little, what we call our flow entry over here. And you can choose one. Your mission unit. I have a bunch because I have access to all sorts of things. You should probably only see one in there. And I'm going to show you today just a quick enhancement here that just literally rolled out in the last hour. And that is, every time on any of the entry doors for core ministry counts, you'll now see that the last kids known by name entry was 150 on January 27th. Your last club entry was on this date, and it was marked as no event held. So it's going to give you just a reminder as you're entering. If you forgot that you did it 2 days ago, now you can see that, wait a minute, I don't probably need to do it for either, that day or that week or something like that. So that's a new one. These are all toggle. You can enter 1, 2, or 3. Okay, I'm going to pause. Any questions on the entry piece so far? Are people trucking along on that? I can't see everybody, so.
So Chad, I went in there. I went to the named core ministry counts. I typed in Summit High School, but I didn't get. And I hit next, and it wants me to go to contact. Am I just not going down far enough? Oh, there it is. No, never mind. It came up. I don't know what happened last time. Never mind. Thanks.
Okay. So I'll show you just real quick. Like, there's kind of 3 doors you can use, which probably seems like too many, but it's just the way that the system works. And I think as we go on, you could find a door that you like better. I mean, right? Anytime you want to make something a favorite, right? You just, when you're on that page, you blue star it up here. When the star's blue or around the star's blue, then it's a favorite. So if I wanted to, because I work with Walker Middle School kids, right? If I wanted to be on my ministry site, I can make that my favorite. And you'll also see there's a button right here, right? And you're going to get the same kind of experience. It actually makes you enter the mission unit, which is a weird deal, and you should see the same kind of thing. So you can enter it on the home page. You can enter it on the mission unit, your mission unit homepage, which is right here, this enter core ministry counts. This actually skips that step and just goes straight to the ministry. If you ever don't see a ministry in a drop-down list that you expect, you're gonna have to, that's where you get to call Patty and figure out, like, do we have that as an open ministry? Is it developing, right? That whole bit. Do we need to add a new one to the list? Do we need to delete an old one? You can always see all of your ministries that you have in your mission unit by going to the related tab on the home page. So there's all the ministries in the Mid-Valley Metro, including the closed one. Okay, I'll pause again. Any questions on entry thing? Is everybody good?
Hey, Chad.
Yep.
I have a couple things. One is I'm going to be contacting areas to clarify that list of open.
Wait, Patty, you're breaking up. What can you?
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
My microphone's horrible. I'm going to be contacting every area to clarify whether those lists are accurate. So I'll be contacting each area to find out whether your list of closed, open, and developing ministries is accurate. And Chad, can you clarify what needs to be entered for open ministries versus developing ministries?
Yeah, developing ministries you can use to keep track of kids known by name. That's the one entry that you could be making there that I think could be helpful for you, right? I mean, because when we hit a certain number of kids,
no event. If we're doing that, we need to enter no event.
You don't have to report on the events for campaigners and clubs.
So you don't even have to enter no event every week. No, okay, thanks.
Because it doesn't mean that now if you have one, you can, but it's not going to show up in any of the other like reports and things like that. So I don't. To me, that's not totally worth it. If you want to keep track of that. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Julie. I got a question.
Hi, Julie.
Is the developing ministries, is that a new category? Because it used to just be either open or closed.
No, I think developing was always there, but I think it was hidden because it was, like most people thought of developing and open as the same. And since GPS was only doing it twice a year, nobody really paid that much attention.
I didn't even know there was a developing, so that's helpful.
Yeah.
Developing was showing up on the second tab of GPS. So most people didn't notice it, and it didn't require any entries on GPS. But it is showing up along with open ministries on CMI, which I think is the confusion. There's some duplicates from some areas that have a developing and an open that are named almost the same. So we're just going to clean that up.
Yeah. And Julie, you're totally right. I mean, it's totally confusing. So here, I don't know if you saw me get here, but I went to the WOW Connect help and I went to CMI terms and definitions. And so here's what the definition of an open ministry is, a developing ministry, and then several others. But so yeah, hopefully that's helpful and can get us going down that road.
The only difference is club and campaigners. It isn't happening yet.
Yeah, there's a kids known by name, club, and campaigners.
Okay. Didn't even know that was there.
Okay. So, all right. Did I answer that one, Patty? You said, what do they need to report? Oh, and then, yeah, let me just state again, because I think this is probably the most confusing part. And actually, maybe I'll just wait till I show this report because it'll be easier. Okay, another change that happened today is on your mission unit homepage, you have a new button here. It used to be in the drop-down menu, so it just moved is all. It's always been here, but this is your core ministry counts report. So the way that these quick action reports run is when you push the button, it knows what mission unit you already are on, so it pre-fills the filter and it just runs for you. This is probably your best look, Julie Kate. I'm revealing. Sorry, Metro right now. I can reveal somebody else's if you want me to.
It's fine.
So, and it's going to give you the look of week by week what the entries were, and yeah. Shannon, what's yours look like? What's sisters? Oh, you're muted. Sorry, you're probably driving. I just probably because you swerve off the road.
No, OR219.
What is it?
OR219.
OR 219.
OR 219. Thank you.
Where are we at?
So there we go. Sisters. We run it. You're going to see, this is a great way to see which ministries you've got kind of on there too. Look at that. Okay, so
That's on Brooke.
good job, Brooke.
Where?
Couple things. Kate and Julie, you guys are unmuted, so let's.
Oh.
Sorry. So when you run this report, you can see that now we've got the no event. So when you have an entry that has a no event, you've got one, the green is good on this, right? Green and blue are the colors you want to see. Gray is okay. If it's all gray, that means there's nothing that's been entered. But one entry, no event, those should be zeros. Whenever you click the no event, we're not putting any numbers in. And so this looks good. Now, the one thing that we do have here, which we also had on other ones, is the adding, we've got a double entry. So that means that one entry here was no event, and then one entry was that. So I think the most confusing thing that we get is the kids known by name is meant to be, if you started out the year knowing 100 kids, you add up all the new kids from the next month. So let's say you met 25 and it's 125. And then you just keep adding and that number is going to grow over the entire year. The difference with then club is clubs usually typically one event per week. Sometimes you might have had, but you add the numbers up and you report it one time, one event for the week. There's one entry for the week. Campaigners is the most complicated because we know, right, there's 5, 6, 7 campaigner groups sometimes, but you aggregate all those numbers and you put them in one time at the end of the week. Okay, so that's and this is a good double check because anytime you see the orange, you know that there's been a multiple entry that needs to be edited. All right,
Chad, could you
yeah, go ahead.
Could you just go back and show me how you got to that page? I didn't see.
Yeah, you're on your mission unit homepage, which everybody should have as a favorite up here. So you can search for it, but hopefully you've already made it a favorite. You click on that, and then this is the core ministry counts report. I push the button, and it runs. Everybody there? If you're not driving?
I missed the first step again, Chad. I'm sorry. I'm on my homepage, right?
Okay. Are you on your homepage? Does yours say
I'm
Ben?
on my homepage. My homepage.
Okay. Top right corner.
Yes. Dashboards.
No. Core ministry count report.
I'm not on the right page then. I don't even know where I'm at. Forget it. I'll get back to it later.
Here, just go. When you look up in your favorites up here, does it say, see where I'm pointing at the star, the drop down next to the star?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You see
Favorites.
band in there?
I don't. I
Mission
got too many.
unit?
I got too many others. I don't have that on mine and favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just search here. Just put your OR32 in the search button, and your mission unit should come up.
What search button? At the top?
The search bar at the top. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. I have the revenue, CMI dashboard. That's what I got. I have 2 dashboards and a current year donor, birthdays,
It doesn't come
Yeah.
up with the Ben mission unit OR32?
No. I may not have it set up.
All
I have
right.
it all. I just have it on my
Let's
regional.
circle
I'll
back
do it
at the
later.
end.
That's fine. Thanks.
We'll get you access to your own area.
Yeah. I have access to all of them under the one dashboard, so that
Oh,
I may
okay.
have just.
Well, yeah.
I may have.
Yeah.
I may have just skipped it. I probably just skipped it.
Okay, so we'll look at bend here, right? So the nulls and the gray, I mean, there's been no entry. Okay, I want to show everybody a trick. We've got this recorded, but we could also, if we want to, take the time and do it right now. I'm going to have you do a couple things. If you wanted to see the kids known by name and you wanted to have it all in one place, right? Here's every count all in one place. We would click edit in the top right corner. And any dashboard or any report that we have, right, we can always do some editing on. And then we can always save it to make our own. But we're going to go to the filters. So it's a little tab right there. And I'm going to change the status, or I'm going to change the record type. I open this up and I unclick the kids known by name. That's doing everything but the kids known by name. And then I'm going to apply it.
Chad, mine was already unchecked. It didn't have kids known by name checked.
Oh,
Did I screw
okay.
that up?
No, probably.
Mine has no selection checked.
On the record type right here?
I did the second record type. You said on the first record type?
Yeah, the first record type, sorry.
Okay. Mine has a little lock symbol by that, but that's
fine. You should, if you're in edit mode, you should still be able to do it.
Oh, yep. Okay, got it. Thanks.
So basically now, if you can see that it just got kids by known by name across the board. Now, I want to hit run to get us back in kind of the main mode, just to see if it worked, okay? So it did work. Sorry, we do need to edit one more thing here. I should have been in edit mode, sorry. Got a little ahead of myself. The filters, yeah, we've got mission. You just want to make sure your correct mission code's in there. We run it. Now, in order for this to do this every time, we're going to have to save it and make your own. I'm going to show you do a couple things with it once we save it too. So the drop-down menu up here, as soon as I confirm that it's working right, I'm going to save as. And I can name it whatever I want, right? There's my Ben Core Ministry Counts report. This is a skill to learn anytime you're saving a report. We don't save it in the main folder that it came out of. We got to go find one of our private folders. So I select the folder, look for the 3-dot menu in the top left. All folders, and some of you may have a shared folder. We could talk about that later, but just for now, put it in your private reports. Select. I see that it's now private reports. And I save. So now this is my report, and everything I do to it only impacts me. I can't mess it up for anybody else in the entire Young Life universe, which is nice, right? So there we go. This is now we've got, if you want to be able to see the kids known by name and right alongside. I would suggest for kids known by name, we're probably really pushing people to enter it on the last week of the month, right? You meet kids all month, you enter it in. I think that makes for cleaner reports and some of the other enhancements that are coming down the line. So I would just really encourage everybody. It's not like a mandate, but it's a strong suggestion like we have at camp. Okay, now here's what we've got where we can do this little fun thing called subscribe. So the drop-down menu over there, I'll go back and do it again. I subscribe. I can pick, the day, the week, however often I want this to show up. I think this is a great little way to use as a reminder that if you get through the week and say by Monday or Tuesday of the next week, you want to make sure your numbers are entered, you've collected them all, then pick one of those days and have this thing show up in your inbox. It'll visualize it for you for your email, and then you can click right in and it'll run it right there. And it's a great little reminder. And you can do that with any report, by the way. Okay, pause. Questions on setting this up, questions on this report, questions on subscribing.
Chad, we'd love a tutorial on how to set up a dashboard for our area.
Dashboard? Okay. Yep. Anybody else on this one? Okay. Dashboards.
Just quickly, I know I told people that this phone call would be 30 minutes of Q&A. So if you need to get off now, that's totally fine. We're going to record the
Oh, Patty, sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Here
Patty, we got to get you some AirPods. Just order them and put them on Chris's tab right now.
I told everybody this phone call would be 30 minutes with a half hour afterwards for questions. So if you need to get off now, it's okay. And we're recording the call. We're going to send it out to everybody after. So just heads up.
I cheated. I allowed questions during the first 30 minutes. Sorry. Dashboards. Okay, a couple things. One, the area dashboard setup is a smart walkthrough right here. So if you forget what I'm telling you now, you can go back and do this.
Are you going to guinea pig the dashboard on OR24? Because that would be fine with me.
Okay, I will. So to get to dashboards, you're going to come over here. I have this set up and saved it. Hey, Patty, will you do Shannon's phone for us? Mute it. Thank you. So you're going to come over here to what we call the waffle menu. You're going to click View All. And you're going to come down to Dashboards. Okay, so once you open up Dashboards, you're going to go to Shared with Me. And you should see a folder called Field Dashboard Templates. So that's what you're looking for, which at this point, there's not going to be a lot in there, but find our way to Field Dashboard Templates. And you notice up at the top, it says, please don't save in this folder. You can see how half the mission is already saved in this folder. So, all right. So we want the Area Core Ministry Counts Dashboard 2.0. That's the dashboard we want. You can always search within a folder up here in the search bar as well. Okay. And by the way, I got to get somebody to clean this up. It's a good thing I saw this today. You want the one made by Haley O'Hearn. Okay. Haley's one of our field support reps. So this is the real one that doesn't have somebody else's information. This should be blank. Whenever you run a template, it should be blank. I will tell you this. This is one thing where you can see everybody's data with the all button. There's no territory management on this. It's not like the finances or anything like that. You can see everybody. So as far as we know in the mission, this is our numbers for the entire mission. Okay, here's the dashboard. This same process applies for dashboards and reports to make it your own. You go to edit. This one, we're just going to need to edit one thing that's over here on the mission unit code. So I edit this filter.
Where was edit? Was that on the drop down? I only have save as and new dashboard.
Sorry. If you're on it, it should be refresh, edit, and subscribe.
I have refresh and subscribe and a drop down.
And you're on Area Core Ministry Dashboards 2.0?
Created by Haley O'Hearn.
We'll troubleshoot that in a minute then, Jacob.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just refreshed my page.
Yeah. So edit. We're going to go over to the mission unit code filter. You'll notice it says ABCD. We don't have that. So we change the value of this to OR24 or whatever yours is. You can change this to reflect whatever you want. By the way, for some of you, Ken, Steve, even Julie, if you guys have multiple areas that you want to look over, then you would just put those in there as well with a comma. And you could see multiple at one time. Okay, so we apply this. We update that. We come over here and we're going to save as. So this is OR24, Area Core Ministry Accounts Dashboard. Once again, you're in the template folder. We got to make sure we don't do that. This one has the all folders right here. And you can put it in a private dashboard, or if you already have a folder set for sharing, select folder. Boom. Okay, now you see it kick back in gear there. And now we just have to adjust this and push this to OR24. One thing I'll tell you is that every time you come to a dashboard, you're going to want to refresh it. It doesn't necessarily automatically refresh. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You'll always be able to tell when the last refresh was right up here on the left. And here you go. Here's your area-wide look. It does a lot of averages for you. Gives you a kids known by name for the last 4 months. I mean, there's a lot on here. Just one other quick thing, if you can always like expand out a dashboard. You can drill down into the actual report itself by clicking on any of these. So that's kind of the fun and helpfulness of the dashboard.
Chad, is now a good time to figure out why I don't have an edit button?
Any questions just
later?
on setting this up for everybody? Julie, did you guys get it? Kate?
Yes, but we don't have that edit button either on our end.
Dun, dun, dun. CMI, so I don't think I can share that.
Kate and Julie, can you guys share your screen?
It's the. I mean, I could point my my camera at it. Can I flip the camera around? Yeah. This is what I see.
Okay. Show me how you got to that one.
Okay. So I went from oops, sorry, I clicked something. I went waffle.
Yep.
Show view all. Sorry if I'm moving that too soon. I can't see. And I came down to dashboards.
Yeah.
I went to where'd you say?
Shared with me.
Shared with me.
Yeah.
Field dashboard templates, the only one I got.
Yeah.
I went down to Area Core Ministry Accounts Dashboards 2.0 by Haley O'Hearn.
Okay, let me make sure.
This one.
Yeah, Area Core, the Haley O'Hearn one.
Haley O'Hearn, so I'm clicking on that.
11/12/2019, is that the date on it created?
Yep, 12:16 p.m.
Yep, okay, good.
Okay, I click on that, and then it pulls up everything that you just said, except for up here in this corner, no edit button.
And what's the drop down show?
And then when I do the drop down, it gives me, that's what I tried, and it gave me save as a new dashboard.
Okay.
Is that what y'all
Chad,
the
I
same?
can confirm that happened for me also just now.
Okay, hit refresh.
Yeah, I tried that.
You didn't do it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it again.
We'll just change the order. So go save as.
Okay. Save as. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Select folder.
Right.
All
Put it in
folders.
private one. And
private dashboards.
Yep.
Select folder. Now say create.
Yep.
Okay, and now
Is there an edit button?
now I've got an edit button. Yep.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden it came
All right.
up with an edit button.
Okay. So my guess is that some security level thing that just came out in the spring 20 release, which happened this weekend for Salesforce,
Cool.
that I didn't know about
Thank
till
you.
today. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, Julie, that works for you guys. All right. Q&A. What else can I tell folks about CMI or Wild Connect? We got 21 minutes left. Would it be helpful if I showed you how to edit? I think it might. I know we've got anybody that has a double entry, any of those oranges, we're not able to delete at this moment, but we can edit. So
Chad, before we jump into that, I'm in my report and I clicked edit, but then where do I go to see to go from A, B, C, D to
Yep. Okay. So I'll get an edit mode on mine. Come over here to mission unit code.
Yep. And hit the little
right
the pencil. Okay, I got lost when you were describing that because I was still figuring out where my edit button was. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And in the help menu, like I said, there's several resources that can go walk back through this if you need to. Okay, so let's show editing real quick. Since we can't delete, we kind of work the system on an edit. So what we do is I'm going to use Valley Metro, and we'll go to the related tab. So if I know the ministry, like I think it was Straub, if I remember right. So I get in the ministry, and which, by the way, I don't have to take this long route. Like I'll show you. This is kind of the good thing about living inside Wild Connect now is once you're in, typically you can move around. So if I'm here and I see that Straub has some duplicates, then I just click right on there. I don't have to keep going back out and come all the way back in. But I go to the related tab, which shows me all of the actual counts. And this is where I can sort by record type or count date, which that's probably the most helpful to find a duplicate. So it looks like here's the duplicate. So what I would do is I pick one of these to edit. I'm going to open it up. And then, so this week, Kate, what I would do is just come in and, or next week or whatever, use this right now to change the date and to change the numbers to reflect. And if you want to, you could even, predate it for the future, I think. Can you do that? I thought you could. Let's see if it'll do it for next week. Yeah. So I'll leave it there for now so we know whatever that number was. So there's all your editing. They all take place in the actual counts record themselves.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
So you're just saying that if you have a duplicate, you can't delete it, but you can reuse it for a future entry.
Say it a little closer to the mic again, Patty.
So you're saying that if you have a duplicate, you can't delete it, you can reuse it for a future entry.
Yeah, you can repurpose it. Yeah.
Okay. And does that, once they can't edit past 2 weeks in the past, will that only work for 2 weeks in the past?
Yeah, that'll only work for 2 weeks in the past. Then you have to do the editing after that point. So if everybody cleans up here in the next couple of weeks, make sure they don't have any duplicates, then they make your life a lot better.
So if you have like 5 duplicates, you gotta plan for the 5 weeks of the future.
Yeah, just throw them out there for 5 weeks in the future.
Okay.
And then you're just editing. You're just going to those and adding numbers.
And did you say you went to that you clicked on the little orange bar and it took you to this list? Or I was looking away when you said it clicked right on it and it took you to all of them.
I'm in the core ministry accounts report.
Yep.
right? And I go, okay, great. Well, I mean, if I want to see what this is, yes, I can click right here and it'll just give me, look, the one entry was 4 and 20, 2 was 4 and 20. Okay.
Yep.
So, but then I know, well, great. I'm at, I'm at Walker and I want to close out of this. I can always just X out over here, but I know that this was at Straub. So I just go straight to Straub.
Got it.
I don't need to go clear out. And I go, once I'm in the ministry, I go to related. And then here's my core ministry counts. I view all of them. And this is like the raw data itself, And just so you know where we're headed, we're going to get to the place where like you can enter your numbers in much more of a format like this, where you just go boom, 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 bounce around like you would on a spreadsheet. Inline editing is on the way.
Thanks.
So there's editing. All right, is everybody bored to tears? Ken looks still awake. Does anybody need me? I'm willing to stick around for another 15 minutes or whatever and help you set up something if you need help subscribing or setting up that dashboard or, tweaking the report so it shows the kids known by name.
Hey, Chad, what would
Yeah.
you recommend people do, knowing that they can go back to January 1st? But what would you recommend people be doing right now to get caught up?
How would be the best way to get caught up to January 1st?
Mm-hmm.
I think, okay, that's a good question. I might, if you just came to the ministry itself, you could either do it through this door. Like just walk through and do all the club ones, and then you could do it here like this. Or I would go through, I would get on your mission unit homepage and just do the enter core ministry counts button. This is probably the one I would do. This is probably the quickest one, right? Because you're already got your mission unit, you know that, and then you just pick the school, and then you can enter 1, 2, or you just truck yourself through the week. I would open up the core ministry count report in another tab. Whoops, that didn't work. I would open it up in another tab and have it just sitting there and keep refreshing it so that I knew that I wasn't putting them in the wrong spot. Hey, look at that. So that's just this report right here. Okay. I would have this just sitting open. And I would put them side by side and just go refresh back and forth to make sure that I was getting the dates right and the weeks of.
I just did something where it told me I couldn't refresh more than twice in 1 minute.
Yes, that's on the dashboard. The dashboard only lets you refresh every 1 minute. The way that you can cheat that, Jacob, is you just refresh the web page.
Okay.
Chrome. And everybody should, I don't know if I said this at the first, but Chrome browser is the best experience. I know that a lot of us are Mac people and we're used to Safari, but it doesn't have all the functionality that Chrome does with our help menu and some other things.
In fact, when people use the no event button, can you just clarify they use that every week? There's no event, and they enter it twice, once for camp, or once for club, and once for containers. Right? Is that correct?
So say it again, the no event button.
They use it if there's no event that week, then they use the no event button twice. Because they go to club and enter no event and containers and enter no event.
Right.
Correct? Yeah.
Yeah. If there's no club, I think the the more typical thing we've seen, right, is that club's not happening every week, but campaigners is much more consistent. So you can enter number for campaigners and put no event for club. Especially like for us, right? Like we do club once a month for wildlife here. But every week there's not club, yes, you need to enter the no event. Anytime you're not having that event, club or campaigners, you're going to enter no event. And that's so Patty knows that on purpose you didn't enter the numbers. She's not tracking you down and breathing on the other end of the phone and hiring the hitman. She's, to make sure that you're entering your numbers.
I don't need to hire one.
Oh, you are one. Okay, any other questions? Can I help anybody? Anything else on Wild Connect that, well, you've got me for 10 minutes, you want me to wax poetic on?
Chad, I just had somebody ask me, what's the best place to get a list of donors with their mailing addresses on Wild Connect?
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, reports. So you go to the reports tab. When you look at the shared with me, you have field report templates. Walt Mays, that's the folder you probably want to bookmark and make a favorite. And here's a whole list of templates. And so the skills that I just taught you on editing and saving apply to all these. So you go to donor reports. And here's your mailing list of contacts with gifts this year. So you would open this up and you're going to see no results. That's okay, because remember it's a template. And so that means we get into edit mode. You go take a look at the filters. You would enter the mission unit code in here. If you wanted to say last year, then you would change that to last year. There's also some other naming conventions like this fiscal year, last fiscal year, things like that. And then you go do your save as like you did before. But there's a whole mess of those.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
On that equals ABCD and you put in like OR24, is it the same? Could you do like OR24, comma, OR265, comma?
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And you could, there would be some times where just you might want to change this to, yeah. I think you want to leave it at equals right there. A little bit of the deep end, but sometimes that might need to includes or contains, but that should work right there for that one to add a couple of them.
Yeah, let me log out of this call thing I'm on.
So one other quick, this one's a great one. I don't know if anybody's seen this one yet, but by the way, you can sometimes you can click here and you could just change the filter right here. And I don't know, I'm just going to pick somebody else so we all don't. Maybe that's not a number. Those are probably not mission units, right? Well, this one right here, if I, why is that? Making up numbers here. There we go. Okay. Nobody knows anybody in Georgia, right? Okay. This gives you, like if you're used to that PPL view or whatever, this gives you your month by month. It's going to show people in their monthly giving, and then it'll start to show when they miss a month or something like that in red. So there's just multiple of these reports that if you go set the filter and then save and put it in your folder, You could subscribe to these. You could get this sent to you. Give yourself the first 5 days of the month to let the income processing catch up. But on the 6th of every month or the 10th of every month, then you could be looking at this report all the time and seeing it. So sometimes you can just change the filter right there. Remember, you still have to always save as to make it your own. And then, there's a gazillion core ministry counts reports in here. A bunch of those just feed up into the dashboard, but knock yourself out if you want to go in and want a specific report that you just want to save. I don't think there's anything radically different than what you've seen other than the area kids known by name report, which just would be a real clean look at the month by month, right? It just looks like that for your ministries. All right. Any other last minute burning questions?
Chad, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you guys. If I can help more, let me know.
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah, certainly willing to help you guys set things up. So you guys are kind of
Thanks,
near and
Chad.
dear to my heart. And if we can save Steve in this, we can save anybody, is what we kind of say. Fox, did you find your mission unit homepage?
I do. I have one. Yep.
Okay.
So
Welcome to Bend.
I really don't really give a darn. I just tell Justin to fix it for me. So I don't care.
Justin's going to go missing one of these days for a week to see what happens.
He signs me up for the the reminders, so I get them automatically, and I can find the one for the region. So I think I'm golden, man.
Okay. Good news.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you guys.